Greetings. Introducing Voices of Festival, a brand new podcast series from the International African Arts Festival, created to keep you connected as we count down to our 55th year of culture, creativity, and community. Each week, hear directly from the artists, dancers, musicians, vendors, and community members who make this festival an unforgettable experience. Tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. on YouTube for Voices of Festival. Celebrate the culture, feel the rhythm, be part of the journey. Yes. Arigani, Alafia, Salamu Alaikum, Hotep, Shalom, and greetings. I'm Adeyemi Bandele, welcoming you to Voices of Festival. And I'm joined by my co-host.
Hello, everyone. This is Sahkeenah and Nzinga Kennard.
So we welcome you. Got a great show. You know, what we're doing is engaging in paying tribute to and remembering women in this month of women's history. And
yes,
we're also doing an international piece too. So you'll find us all over the place. But tonight, we're looking at Jamaica and have a real special guest with us, Sharon Gordon. But before we bring Sharon on, Sahkeenah, tell folks how they can support us, please.
Yes, indeed. Happy Women's History Month.
Yes.
You can like, comment, subscribe, and share. You can find us online at IAA Festival on Instagram and on Facebook and YouTube. You can hashtag Voices of Festival.
Okay. And of course, you always want to remember the ancestors.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I just want to give thanks and praise to those whose shoulders we stand upon, those who laid the foundation before us, and to give honor and praise to our bloodlines, our family. And so, like we always go to the Egun tent, the ancestral altar, do we just want to call their names? So I say Ibaye in reverence to our ancestors. Ibaye means we give honor and we give praise. Ibaye Jitu Wusi, Ibaye Mama Kumba, Ibaye Mze Moyo, Ibaye Salima Moyo, Ibaye Kuja Bandele, Ibaye Mama Stephanie Weaver, Ibaye Baba Lloyd Weaver, Ibaye Baba Lafia Shango Dei, Ibaye Brother Bernard Kinsey, Ibaye Jonathan George Mason Kinsey, Ibaye Baba Alfred, Ibaye Baba Chief Bay, Ibaye Baba Olukoshe Wali, Ibaye Mamba Abimbala Wali, Ibaye Baba Heru, Ibaye Baba Paua, Ibaye Baba Abu Bakar, Ibaye Nana Kwe Yao Ajiapong, Ibaye Baba Canute Bernard Jr., Ibaye Pharaoh Saunders, Ibaye Randy Weston, Ibaye Donald Smith. Ibaye to all of our elders, our ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon, and we have paved the way for us. We give honor and we give praise. Thank you.
Thank you. And as always, we always want to remember the one who was really founder and the roots of where we are, which would be Baba Kasisi G2 Weyusi. Sharon Gordon, welcome to Voices of Festival. Where are you, Sharon?
I'm here. Greetings.
I believe you. All right. Good to see you. Hey, listen to our viewers, to the family. If my background looks a little different, it's because I'm not in my usual place, but in fact, I am in warm climate in Tobago,
Sure.
And so I'm here with the
Nice.
enjoying some warm weather, but also doing some work. So my background looks a little different, but being with us. Sharon, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure. You have been a part of this festival. Uh, you've got a lot of stuff going on. So we're going to try and fit it all in the time that we have because you have blown up. Hey, but Sharon, before I turn it over to Sahkeenah to raise a question with you, I feel bad about this, but who were some of the Jamaican or Caribbean artists that we had at festival who are no longer or who are ancestors?
Wow. Wow. Well, greetings, first of all, and thanks for having me. And wow, well, we start off with Cat Core from Third World, who just
Third
left us,
world.
and Bunny Ruggs, because they were all
Mm.
at
Yes.
festival.
Oh, God.
Then,
Yeah.
yeah, that really
Yeah.
is, we can just start right there. It's amazing to me how many people have traveled on
Yeah. Yeah.
Baba Adeyemi. It has really been, and you really got me there because we just did a program last week, the Union of Jamaica Alumni Association, and it was their reggae program, and they were paying tribute to Jimmy Cliff and so many others. And as we started listing all those who traveled on, it was Sister Sahkeenah, one of those moments where you go, wait, like you're going down the list and you're going, wait a minute, oh, what?
Yes.
He passed? Like
Yes.
it's hitting you like, wait a minute. And that's kind of the moment I'm
Yeah.
in right now, as you just did this to me, Baba,
Hmm.
because I'm really having a moment of like, wow, we are losing so many people. We're in that time. So many people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
ancestors. And so
Mhm.
I don't want to start calling names because I am not prepared.
Right.
So to all those who have traveled on,
Thank you,
uh,
though.
Ashe, and we just,
Yeah.
thank them for their contributions because reggae has seen a big hit. So many
Mhm.
icons. Sly
Yeah.
Dunbar just left us. Sly
Oh.
Dunbar is the other side of Taxi, the Taxi Gang, which is Robbie Shakespeare and Sly Dunbar, the drum and the bass. We
Mhm.
lost Robbie, and then now we just lost
Mhm.
Sly, the great drummer that he was and musician. It's just so many.
Yes.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, the third world piece hits me because
Yes, that was a
they have
special
been
night.
with us several times at festival. In
Mm.
fact, one of my most challenging moments at festival, Sahkeenah and
Mhm.
Sharon, Third World was on. Field was packed, and
Yes,
then the rain came,
opened
and
up.
the lightning came.
Yes,
And when that happens, it's a wrap. But guess what? They didn't want to stop.
they didn't.
They didn't want to
That's the
stop,
West.
but we
That's
had
the
to
West
tell them,
Indian way. Why?
yeah,
Why are we
yeah,
stopping when it's rain?
You know what
yeah.
happened, Tina? It was
But
more
it's not so much the rain though, but when the lightning started happening,
Yeah.
it's a
the
wrap. So
equipment.
thank you
Yeah.
for that. And I
Mhm.
know Sahkeenah will take those names down and add them because they were special and they all whenever we called upon them, they were there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sahkeenah, yours.
So I just want to welcome you officially and say thank you for coming on. Sharon, I was reading up about you and it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time virtually.
Thank
But
you.
you are the founder of the nonprofit organization for the Coalition to Preserve Reggae Music, which is like so important, so foundational, so impactful. So thank you for the work that you do. Uh, and I wanted to ask you just about like your inspiration and how you came about to do this work.
Well, a couple of things I have to do and put things in perspective. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I founded that organization some 20 years ago. I have
Okay.
since left the organization to those who are carrying on the work, and I have
Mm-hmm.
moved into being an author now. Currently promoting my best-selling book, Sherry Baby, which was
Okay.
released a year ago. Yesterday was a year, and
Mm.
now looking to adapt it into a one-woman play. And the audiobook was considered for a Grammy. We didn't get the nomination, but it was the first time that a book written in Jamaican language, Jamaican patois, was even
Mm-hmm.
considered. So that's kind of where my focus has been. But you're right. For
Okay.
many years of my life, reggae was my life. Reggae was what I did. And I did, along with my then partner, Carla McKetty, started the Coalition to Preserve Reggae, CPR. And we also started an internet broadcast platform, doing very much what folks are doing now. We started doing that
Mhm.
many moons ago, CPR Live. And we did many concerts. We did forums, just
Wonderful.
conversations, just
Mhm.
really raising the consciousness about the music and the culture, because it
Mhm.
is part of the culture, right? And you and I know that it's a rich culture that has really, you see, just all over the world, wherever you go, you're going to hear a reggae beat, you're going to hear something.
Mhm.
It's there. We've really saturated and touched the four corners of the world. And even with the offsprings of dancehall and reggaeton and dub and all that, dub poetry and
Mhm.
all that has come, Lovers Rock out of England, all of that. It's there. It's a rich, dynamic culture. And I'm glad that I played my part when I did,
Mhm.
for as long as I did. And you're right, I wore many hats, from manager to publicist to you name it, producer, promoter.
Mhm.
In Jamaica, we say head cook and bottle wash. That means I did everything. Did everything,
Yeah.
That's
right?
what's necessary.
Even iron the
Mhm.
shirts to make sure they look
Mhm.
good on stage, right? And cook something so they eat. But everything,
Mhm.
and at that time when I was doing that, you didn't really have a lot of folks like me out there doing that, to the point of even
Mhm.
when I was doing street marketing, and I used to do street marketing as well, sniping posters and
Mhm.
out flyers, distributing flyers and posters and people's promotional albums, but at the
Mhm.
time it was cassettes, and then they became
Yeah. Oh,
CDs, right?
you
And we
said
should go back to the
cassette.
vinyls, the
Oh
45.
my.
So yeah, I only look young for my age.
Okay. So since you know so much history
Yes,
of the
I do.
beginnings of this genre of music,
Hmm.
what would you say, where are we now?
Ah,
What is
so
the
my
status
pay grade,
of the
Sakina.
industry now?
You're way above my pay grade, Sakina. What I'll say is this. I'll say this in all seriousness. I pinch myself sometimes because friends tell me I'm a pioneer, and I guess I need to start claiming it, that I am a
Mm-hmm.
pioneer. And I pinch myself when I see where we are and what we're doing, right? The arenas we're playing in, the kind of numbers that we're pulling. I pinch myself because that's, you said before when we were just starting, we stand on some serious shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we're seeing, the fruits that people are enjoying now, are because of labor that was done, clearing of paths that was done,
Mm-hmm.
planting of trees that happened. And here we are in 2026, we see the fruits of the labor. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about, if I was to express a concern, is what I've always been concerned about, and is why I started a coalition, was that I saw where the business of it was never anything that was taken seriously by the government of Jamaica or those portal keepers. And it's the reason why disproportionately reggae, dancehall artists, it's rare that, and it's only with certain names that we can call now, and the names, the quote unquote crossover acts and what have you, whose names carry a certain weight. And so their business tends to be a little more properly put together. But most artists, they're the business side of things are not good for them. Because it was never done for that. It was done because they love the thing. It's a cultural thing. They loved it. They want to sing, they want to dance, whatever it is. And so it's a friend that's handling the management, or
So can you
not
can you
properly. Mm-hmm.
can you give me an example of what you're describing in terms of
You have
the imbalance?
you have people who don't own their publishing, for example, and your
Okay.
publishing is your pension, right? Your publishing
Mm-hmm.
is your pension, and you learn that. And there are people who they just signed away their lives because they lacked
Mm.
knowledge, and they didn't have good representation, and the attorney was really the attorney for the label or the studio person who they were doing the tune
Okay.
for.
That's typical music industry stuff
It's
in terms
a
of being
big,
independent versus behind the
absolutely, absolutely.
mainstream. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And because of that, and because management and those who are and have been managers are not properly trained, with certain skill sets, it's a baby mother, it's a wife, it's a husband, it's a boyfriend, it's a
Mm-hmm.
brother, it's a cousin. So those skill sets are not there to help with a
Mm-hmm.
career and setting up a career and all of that. So those are the shortfalls. What I see happening is that yes, you have more structure, but you also have a lot of the older artists who are dying or being ill, and they just don't have funding. There's no fund way to take care of them, and those were the kind of things, the kind of work that we had visions of
Mm-hmm.
able to put in place. But there
Mm-hmm.
are folks now who are doing and carrying, the baton forward, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad to see what is happening. But there's still a lot of work to be
Yeah.
done. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
work. But like I said, I've been there, done that. I have the T-shirt, the bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
hat.
So tell me about your book.
What do you want to know about my book? You want to know everything
Mhm.
about my book? I get
I
all
want to
the
know
secrets about my book.
everything. I want to know everything. I want to know what inspired you to begin to become
Okay,
an author.
so I was a journal. I know we didn't really properly introduce myself. Let me introduce.
Exactly.
Anyway, um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a journalist as well, a
Mm-hmm.
proper trained journalist for many years. And so writing has always been something that I've done. And I also worked as a publicist and
Okay.
PR manager for many, many years. And so writing press releases, bios, marketing campaigns, all of that, did all of that, feature interviews with people, all of that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I never wrote creatively. Had I just never did. And in 2016, I think it was, we're 10 years out. 2016, 2017, somewhere around then, I think. I might be off by a bit, but Simone Dennis Ben, she did, not Simone, Nicole Dennis Ben did a book called Patsy, and she asked me to do the narration, and I
Mm-hmm.
narrated that book for her, and it was a huge success. I did all 17 characters, and
Wow.
kept, yeah, I'm a little of a big deal. I'm kind of
Okay.
talented, right? So I'm gonna embrace
Mm-hmm.
the ancestors and the universe has been good to me. But she kept encouraging me, Sakina, to write. She's like, because I always told stories. So I
Mm-hmm.
also channel a woman by the name of Miss Lou, who is Jamaica's first lady of culture, theater, comedy,
Yeah.
all. She was my
Mm-hmm.
mentor. So I dress like her and I channel her. I teach people folk stories, folk songs, all that folklore, the riddles, all
Mm-hmm.
dress like her and I channel her. I hosted her as her. So that's something I do. And
Mm-hmm.
telling stories. And so Nicole, when I used to do my radio shows, because I was also a radio personality, I've always had people say to me, when are you gonna write these stories, Sharon? Because I'm always telling a story. That's what I do. I'm forever telling a story. But I never thought that it would come the way it did. And how it came was Nicole encouraging me to do her writing class. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
doing this writing class. It was going to
So,
be
so,
2020. That was COVID year, right? 2020, because that's when I
mm-hmm.
wrote the
Yeah.
book. It was during COVID. It was because of her writing class and the fact that it was COVID that Cherry Baby.
Sakina, let me jump in for a moment, please.
Oh, he's jumping
Yeah,
in.
let me jump in for a moment. Uh,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I'm sorry we're having some technical
Okay, we're
difficulties.
hearing you though, Baba. We're hearing you now.
Yeah, but Sharon, and because this is Women's History Month, we want to talk a bit about Miss Louise Bennett and
Okay.
her impact in Jamaica, because
Yes.
she certainly forced the envelope forward and caused
She did.
people to be able to appreciate
She
what is
did.
ours. Talk a bit about her.
Okay. So Miss Louise Bennett Coverly, who was first Louise Fraser Bennett, she was the one who took it up on herself really to travel the length and breadth of Jamaica and basically just documented our stories, our folk songs, work songs that became, you know, songs now that we've put. A song like Good Old Emmanuel Road, which is a song about breaking rocks and all that, you know, became a song that we taught children how to be mindful, how to be nimble. And that's what she did. But she gathered all of the songs, the work songs, made them into lovely folk songs, riddles, all of her, you know, the things about the food and the music and the language. And it was Miss Lou who connected us with the language, the patois, that there were proper words in there from the Twi language out of Ghana. And she made that
Mm.
connection for us. So we had an identity. So we understood that this language that the colonizers and the upper crust and the upper echelon of Jamaica was telling us was a bad language. Miss Lou said nothing like that. That is not true. This is a good language. It's a proper language. And so in her research that she did as an anthropologist, and her going around and just gathering all this information and then putting it into music and bringing it to us via the airwaves and on television. And she started a program called Ring Ding, which I was lucky and blessed to be one of the first students that was on Ring Ding, which was a program for children. And you have to
Mm.
understand that this was in the mid 60s when Jamaica had just gotten independence in 62. And so this was the late 60s, early 70s. Miss Lou and others like her, they were pouring into us, that generation of youngsters, to give us that
Mhm.
pride, that national pride. And she was the pioneer in that. She made us know that our language was something to be proud of. And with her program, it was her on a Saturday, just really making a generation proud, just making us
Mhm.
love ourselves and understand that we're black and beautiful, and we have good stories to tell too, and our songs are just as good as anybody else's, and we have rich literature too, because she wrote stories, she wrote poetry, and she used
Mhm.
humor in a way to poke fun at the mainstream. And she did this all in a way. She created industry. I mean, the theater as we know it in Jamaica, you know, pantomimes, all of that. That's Miss Lou, and she had a partner
Mhm.
in that field called Mass Ran. You know, you always have good brothers, you know, who come and support the thing, and Mass Ran and people like that. And so Miss Lou's crown, you know, is big and it's heavy.
Mhm.
She did it. And when we see this language now, where Google Translate has Jamaican up in there, right? And that happened, by the way, the same time that my audiobook was being, the same day I got the news that the audiobook was up for consideration is the same day that Google announced. So I know the ancestors are in there, that they're now
Okay.
Jamaican language was. I know this. And Miss Lou,
Mhm.
I wrote the book I told you during COVID because Miss Lou's influence. And I wrote it in patois, and there's a glossary in the book because of Miss Lou and Miss Lou's influence. And the color, the way my book is designed, you would think it's a children's book because you see it's colorful and there's a little girl on the cover. But we go around judging books by the cover. And that's what Miss Lou taught us. You know, we're little, but we tell her, we're like, don't judge me. You see me, get to
Mhm.
know me. And so with my books designed, again, honoring Miss Lou and what she taught me, you see the book, you better take it up and read it. And then you realize that it's a little girl that's telling a very adult story. And
Mhm.
so and she's telling it in the language of the people. And again, that's all Miss Lou. So you see, Miss Lou is someone I can talk about Miss Lou for hours, because without Miss Lou, I wouldn't be.
Mhm.
I stand on her shoulders. She poured into me and hundreds of us during a time when we needed it, when Jamaica was coming into its identity, coming into its own. And Miss Lou carved out for us what that identity should look like, what it is,
Mhm.
and that we should be proud of it. And that's why my
Mhm.
part in that
Sharon,
Jamaican heritage
let me ask
culture
you.
is
I
big.
I am in awe of your passion, because what you are emanating right now is just the epitome of ancestral veneration at its
Oh,
highest level.
Ashe,
You
thank you.
know, it's
Thank
one
you.
thing to call on the ancestors. It's
Mhm,
another thing to write about the ancestors, but
mhm.
then you are actually reenacting her essence on stage. That
Yes,
is
yes.
like phenomenal, you know, and that is one of the highest forms
Mhm.
of veneration, you know, that her work will never die and her essence will never die. It lives, and that's essentially what we do when we venerate our ancestors. They live through us. Everything that she taught you, you are passing on. You are breathing, you're living, breathing the energy that she started, you know. So that, I mean, salute to you for what you do, you know. I am impressed. Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing it is.
Sharon.
Yes, Baba. Thank you, sir.
So here's what I'd like to do then. Following up on Sahkeenah's piece, can you give us a little something?
Oh, you want
of
me to
Miss
do a little
Lou?
reading for you? Oh, okay.
Well, you know, are we going to do our segue? Can you do it when you
after
come
she
back?
does this piece?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No. We're gonna go ahead on it, and when she finishes this piece, go right ahead, Sharon.
Okay. So I'll tell people a little bit. Like I said, this is the book, the cover of the book, Sherry Baby, Sheribay, became an Amazon bestseller within 3 months of being released. Yesterday was a year. The book has a bandana, which is again to honor Miss Lou, what she dresses in, what we wear. And on the cover, there are 2 images of Miss Lou on the cover. Her looking out the window, looking over Sherry Baby's shoulder, and her statue, which is in Gordon Town, Jamaica. So the book has a lot of history. And the book's title is Sherry Baby, A Little Girl's Big Voice in Post-Independence Jamaica. So why don't I just start at the beginning?
Okay.
Instead of I just start right at the beginning. I have to take my glasses.
All right, give us a good piece.
So the book starts with Sherry Baby observing some visitors in her house. And there are no numbers to her chapters. Her chapters are just the names of the stories she's telling. So the first chapter in the book is called Birthmark. Ready? And you have to tell me when. How much time do I have? How much reading? 5 minutes? 3 minutes? 2? Give me a signal when I need to wrap up. Okay? Somebody.
Let's do about 5 minutes or so.
All right, but give me the signal. Sister Sahkeenah, you give me a signal. Okay? I'll keep looking at it. Give me something. All right. So Birthmark. Ooh, you don't believe? Huh. Well, look. With her blouse unbuttoned, my mother all but exposed herself to the strange women sitting in our living room. Mommy stood near the new stereo system. She stylishly pulled on her white cotton blouse with the red piping and pointed. You see it? Lord of mercy, Jesus, a dopey mark that for true. The dopey mark in question appeared as a purplish discoloration against Mummy's skin that was similar to a yellow heart breadfruit. 2 of the 3 women kept uttering, Jesus, sweet Jesus. Stop your foolishness, the tall one who swayed from side to side with eyes closed mumbled. You know, see, Miss Rose need anointing immediately to protect her. For that mark is not of this world. Habashanti kalashanto. Oh Lord Jesus, in the sweet name of Jesus, pass by here, oh Lord. The visitors swayed and spoke as if in a trance. Mommy sighed. So you say, why me not show nobody? Yes, Miss Rose. If me never see it for myself, me would never believe that you really get a mark like that for life. Well, no, you know, and you need to figure this out and do it fast, because my husband soon come home. We cannot rush the Lord's work, Miss Rose, said the woman with the multicolored head wrap, still dancing to a tune I couldn't hear. She must be the leader. Will this help you? Mommy handed a brown envelope to the one in the multicolored head wrap, who stopped singing and spinning to count the bills. It's 7 years me trying to make sense of this thing. Since the baby kicked me and bruised me, it never go away. See her there? See me picnic there? She on a duppy. She on a spirit. She right here in the land of the living. And me know say she kicked me from inside me womb. Is that 5 minutes?
Wow.
Yes.
You have to explain that. Yes.
Listen. Yeah. Sharon, we are going to do a little recap. Each episode, we go back to Festival 54 so that folks can be reminded of the experience, but also those that didn't make it, they can see what they missed. So we're going to take a brief pause, look back at Festival 54.
All righty.
Oh man! All right, welcome back, Sharon. Thank you so much for sharing that with Miss Louise Bennett. We want to also talk a bit about your movie.
But wait. She needs to explain what she just read off. Why were they having so much issues with the girl having the mark? What was it?
So
she had a duppy on her for the mark?
Right? A duppy is a ghost, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, we start the thing with Cher Baby, she pulls you from the first scene because she's pulling you into something that every Jamaican family has to deal with, which is the mysticism around our culture. Some people call it, some people call it voodoo. You know, anything that happens, people say, well, it must be Obi or it must be voodoo. Anything that happens to you. So here is a case of her mother having had this mark that she said Sherry Baby gave her, and she's been trying to figure out, well, what is this mark? And so she goes to women who are the high, you know, the high priestesses, for lack of a better word, you know, the mother women, they would call them in the Clapham church. They know these things, so they would know of which this particular mark. And you heard they say, well, this is mark is not of this world, you know, so Miss Rose is in trouble, and so they're gonna have to anoint her to keep her safe. And Sherry is like, oh my God, I really don't want to deal with this, but here it is. I'm dealing with this, and she's telling you what she's seeing. And we get that there's a husband that doesn't really want these women to be there, and so the mother knows this, and there's that tension that's going on as well. So very interesting how, but that's how she begins. She begins in that quandary where she finds herself with her mom and these women.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna have to get this book. So you say I could get it on Amazon?
Yes, you can. SHERIBABY, Sherry Baby by Sharon Gordon. And there's an audio, a paperback, and an ebook.
Okay, thank you.
And it's very good. It's very good. If I'm gonna say so myself, it is.
Yeah, thank you for thank you for asking that, Sahkeenah. Being a Jamaican, I was traveling with you, but I was being a bit presumptuous that folk would also understand. So for the non-Jamaicans in the audience,
we had to break it down.
Hear that. But you know, Miss Lou's journey was a part of that the end of the neo-colonial
Yes,
experience,
exactly.
because you know, throughout the Caribbean, I'm in Trinidad and Tobago now, and I was having a conversation with someone today who talked about how long it was before calypso was even played on the radio here
Absolutely.
in Trinidad and Tobago.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and you know very well that in Jamaica, how long? In fact, when did they begin to play reggae music in Jamaica?
It took them forever. It wasn't until like the 70s. It was really bad. And it was people going to the radio station to
Yeah,
beat people up to
yeah.
get them to play their music.
And
Like it was that serious. They wouldn't play it because it was dirty, dirty music. They thought dirty Rasta. They snobbed their nose at Rastas and dark skinned
yeah.
people. And so all of that is in Sherry Baby as well, because it's what we lived. And that's why Sherry Baby takes place. My book takes place between 1969 and 1975, because it is a little girl's big voice in post-independence Jamaica, because you see Jamaica coming of age, coming into its own, coming into identity. And you see this little girl who's the same age as Jamaica telling the story about a people coming into their own. And it's dealing with all the things you just raised, the music, how the music is dealt with, how just skin color, the issue of skin color, the issue of where you're born. Miss Lou appears in the book because I had to write her in there, that. And she used to be at the JBC. We used to have to go there. That was the television station. And we used to have to go to the studio and do a recording. And, I write about Sherry Baby's experience with Miss Lou on how she taught the children to be clean about themselves, having good hygiene, something you take for granted. But Miss Lou didn't take it for granted, because she knew these little young Black kids needed to know about how to keep themselves clean, keep themselves well attired, well groomed, all of that. It sounds simple, but it's a real thing. We learned these things from a Miss Lou, going to the studio on a not that the nuns and the other teachers weren't teaching us that. I'm saying it to say that she understood how important it was for us to develop these type of, what would we call, hygiene practices, right? At a very young age, because she understood the world that we were up against. Yeah. And so looking back now, even when the way we spoke, Miss Lou made us understand that don't be ashamed of it, because it was meant for us to feel shame about it.
How to have pride for your culture. What is important about your culture, and then preserving it with the history, documenting it.
She documented it. She did everything, and she showed us. She gave us the blueprint, and that is why I just know that I am so blessed. And that's why I tell people this book, it was a download. My book was a download. It happened during COVID. I wrote it in 1 year and then I sat on it. I wrote it March 2020 to March 2021. And then I sat on it and went and go to the movie that is now out on Prime, because I was like, what the hell did I just write? But then all my ancestors were with me. They were like, no, release it, because people kept telling me, Sahkeenah, don't release the book in patois. Sharon, you're too intelligent. People are going to think you don't have no sense. And you go good school. And this is all the parochial stuff that Jamaican people have inside of them, and they were trying to project that onto me. And I'm like, no. Miss Lou was my mentor. I know who I be, and I am not going to be fooled. This book goes out just like this, and the rest is history. It's what people love about it, how authentic it is, because it's the language of the people telling this story. So we see.
Thank you for not listening to that negative self-talk and not having any fear. And pushing forward and listening to your ancestors, listening to the word and moving forward on it. We've been talking about that on this show, about listening, and that is a part of the evolution, how our revolution is evolving, is because we can listen, we can now hear spirit and follow through.
Absolutely. That's what I did.
As you well know, the cultural struggle is as important as the political struggle.
Absolutely.
And so as we were struggling around the political independence, we were also struggling to throw off the shackles of this cultural dominance that occurred. Because, throughout the Caribbean, the issue of colorism.
Oh.
And for some time, for example, you know, how long it took before you could hear reggae music, how long it took before you could hear soca. And well, soca was as it came about, the doors had already opened.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
my wife tells me about the experience of how, of like Pan, as you know, began here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
for a woman to go to a Pan yard where they would rehearse was frowned upon.
Frowned upon, of course.
You know, I mean,
of course. Yeah.
It's frowned upon. Yeah. And so this struggle for a cultural identity or a cultural independence,
yes, Baba,
that would ride along with the political independence. Yes, and in fact, the cultural one, because of the mind being jammed up as it was much more difficult than the political one.
And that's because the challenge.
One still goes on today. So your book really is a weapon in this mental and cultural decolonization. And so we thank you for that. So listen, talk about the movie.
So Ron Elliott, big up yourself. Wow, we did. So we had done a movie called Dope Fiend in 2016 because we were concerned about, and again, Ron Elliott, Visionary Entertainment Group. Ron is my brother, my filmmaking partner, and the entire team. But the movie is about a young boy out of Brooklyn who gets caught up in the drug game, wants to come out, but doesn't know how. And what we're showing you is how it's the people around him, whether it's the grandmother, the girlfriend, the friends, all of it. They love the trappings of this life. So what are you talking about? You don't want to be a drug dealer anymore. Are you crazy? Yeah. And I don't want to give away too much. Go watch Dope King on Prime, and the prelude to it was Dope Fiend. You can watch each independently. You'll get the story, but if you watch them both, then it's just beautiful. So that came out. That's been on Prime since roundabout November, I believe December. We're really having a nice run, and we're really excited about it. You know, really excited about it. It's a great. We won the Newark Film Festival, both their awards, their highest award, and we won the overall award. And it just felt really good. It felt good because we know that we are a people who are very resilient, and we don't tell those stories. You know, we don't tell, we tell the stories of the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, but then what happens after that? And in our community, we always have a brother, a sister, a grandma, some folks who are going to say, no, baby, come. This is the way it should be done. Let me show you. Let me help you with, heal your wounds and show you the way to go. Let me show you the way to go. We always have someone lighting the path, showing us the way. And so we're telling that story, but in a modern way. That community is still about community. No matter how you do it, it's still about community, whether it's a community influencing you and you're having a negative reaction to that, or they're influencing you and you have a positive reaction to that. But it's always about community because we are part of the community, the larger community.
Nice. So the name of it is Dope Fiend?
Dope. So the first one is Dope Fiend. And the second one is Dope King. King. Please check them out. Yes.
Yeah, so,
and of course, there's
Dope King.
I also have Respect the Jokes out there too. And there's Brooklyn Babylon. And all right. There's a few.
Okay. Miss Prime time. I love it. So quickly before we have to wrap up, can you tell us your favorite pastime at festival, International African Arts
Festival over the years? Shopping. Baba knows this. I always do it. She'll tell you. Everybody knows me for that. I'm shopping.
And what day is your best day to go shop?
Last day in the
The
afternoon.
last day. The
Last
last
day
day.
in the afternoon. You gotta
Okay.
know the time to go on the
So
last
so
day.
so the first day you just go to see
I am
everybody.
browsing every day.
The
Every
second
single
day.
day, I'm making sure it's still there. And if it looks like it might go, I go have a
Yeah.
word with the person. Like, I want that, so hold it. Then the third day, you are making sure that your heart is beating like, okay, is it still open? All right. All right, good. Okay, I'm coming for you
Okay, well,
tomorrow.
I'm
So
sure we will have plenty of vendors for you this year at the 55th annual
Absolutely.
time. And you know, now it's at Lincoln Terrace Park,
Yes,
so we have a new atmosphere, new environment,
Mhm.
fresh. Perfect.
Sharon, we can't let you go though without first of all bigging you up for all of these awards that you have recently
And I'm about to
received.
go
So
get
tell us
another
about
one. I'm getting another one on Saturday.
Oh, wonderful.
Lord. So tell
I
us
need
about some
to
of
go
the
to Florida.
recently
I
received.
know. It is amazing. I keep pinching myself. I'm living my best life. I swear to you. I leave. I've been so
Good.
the
You deserve it.
I deserve it, right? Thank you. Thank you. So on
Yes.
Saturday, my alma mater, I went to a convent in Jamaica, Alpha Academy, Convent of Mercy Academy. And
Mm-hmm.
the Alumni Association is honoring me with their
Also,
women.
they didn't kick you out.
They tried though.
You made it through?
I mean, against all odds, you know, I'm a recovering Catholic. So, you know, I tell people
Oh
I am a
God.
recovering Catholic, made it through. But they're honoring me with their Woman of Excellence Award for 2026. That's
Yes,
on Saturday night. So that's a
Okay.
big deal. And then
the women
earlier
of
in the day on Saturday, so that's in Pembroke Pines on Saturday night. And then early in the day, I'm going to be doing a talk on voice and identity uh, via Sherry Baby, the character Sherry Baby, this little girl who is a protagonist driving this novel. I'm going to be talking about that as part of a Women's History Month celebration at the Lauderhill Central Park Library. So I have two events one day in Florida, but that's me, that's normal. And then I
okay.
just got a wonderful award from the Rise organization, which is Dr. Saran, and she and her group they're out at, oh boy, look at me mess up now, Stony Brook University, I want to say, out in
Yes,
Long
that's
Beach.
in Long
Mhm.
Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, they honored me in December with their Rise Award as a community icon, and that was really an exciting award for me to get. I was like, wow, really? Thank you.
Yes.
I'll take it. And then I've gotten a few others, and I just want to thank everybody who I was the storytelling contest winner last year for the What's Your Story Jamaica storytelling contest, and so I won that, and that helped to kind of
Oh,
propel me into another, stratosphere because now I am, doing more storytelling, more bookings as a storyteller, doing that. So it's just been a lot, and it's wonderful. Not a lot in a negative sense, but a lot that is my cup overflow, and I love it. It's a
you
beautiful
Wonderful.
time.
deserve it. Now,
Yeah.
how can you be reached?
You can find me on social media. I am Sharon Gordon. So whether it's Instagram, TikTok, it's just you put the @ sign. I am Sharon Gordon. My website is iamsharongordon.com. And I think on Facebook it's just regular Sharon Gordon. You find me, send me an email, come check me out. I'm here.
So,
Come book
are
me.
you based in the U.S.?
I am still based in the
Okay.
US for now. For now.
Are you based in the U.S. or Jamaica?
I am still in the US for now.
Okay.
She
I
said,
am hoping
so-
for now. I am hoping that Jamaica is where I will be. We're going to put it out there so the universe hears that.
All
But I
right.
am soon. I'll have a happy story to tell you, Baba. Very soon.
okay.
All right. All right. Very
Wonderful.
good. Sharon Gordon, thank you so very much. In
Thank
this Women's
you.
History Month, um, your story, as well as representing Miss Louise Bennett, Miss Lou, and her
Yes.
tremendous contribution to Jamaican culture and to world culture, because storytelling takes place in every society. And the storytellers are the griots.
And the
And
griots.
so you're continuing that. And Sahkeenah so eloquently talked about how you are venerating Ms. Lou. Thank you for taking on that responsibility to big her up to, blaze your own trail.
Thank you.
And
So,
continuing
writer,
legacy. Thank you.
performer,
Mhm.
are you singing yet?
I come from a singing family, but I do sing. I was just singing at the Sugar Hill
Oh,
Museum with the children with Miss Lou. I sing folk songs as Miss
Yes.
Lou, but I haven't recorded anything yet. We were just we got to shout out the Sugar Hill Museum, the Schomburg, the Apollo. We perform, as part of with Sister Malika Lee Whitney and others. We do picnic productions, all Miss
my
Lou,
sister.
all folk stuff. Is what we do. We're keeping the culture
Good.
alive. It's what we do.
Lovely.
Well,
Lovely.
please
Thank
continue to
you.
do that. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for joining us
Thank you.
on this episode of the Festival.
Mhm. Beautiful.
Sharon Gordon. All right. Sahkeenah, good one. That was awesome, and
It really
I've had some
was.
issues on my end here, but I'm glad that we had her on. Listen, there are a couple of things that are coming up and we want to share with you. As you mentioned earlier to Sharon, Festival 55, July 3rd through 5th, Lincoln Terrace Park. Our theme for this year is so important, Hanganini, which means let us unite. We're also engaged in what we call a drive for 55. We need you all to support our effort to make the International African Festival self-sufficient so that we can continue this and continue to make this work happen. And so we're asking you to make a contribution of $55. Either you do it or you raise it on behalf of your family or your co-workers, but $55 is doable. If you're going out to have dinner, even by yourself, $55, if you add the tip, is generally what we do. And, sometimes we have difficulty supporting what's ours because we think somebody else should do it, and then we'll just come in and reap the benefits of that. No, we need you to be there on this journey with us. Now, also, if you are a craftsperson or a vendor, spaces are now available. So you have to jump on it because the space has been reduced in this new venue. So you can call 718-638-6700 to inquire about space. Or you can go to vendor IAA Festival at gmail.com. Okay. And now on June 7th, the libation program will take place at Billie Holiday Theater, which is 1368 Fulton Street. Artists to be announced. So we'll get you that information probably by our next episode. And then one other thing we got on this schedule. The forum that was scheduled to talk about Mayor Mamdani, New York City's mayor, and the Black community, the storm just wiped that out. And so it has been rescheduled to March 22nd. Okay. March 22nd, Restoration Plaza from 4 to 6 p.m. That'll feature Professor Roger Green and attorney Esmeralda Simmons. And this is important because it's talking about the Black agenda. And there was a coalition that was established to present to him what it is that the African-American community is concerned about. So, you can go ahead and attend that. And lastly, if you want to share your festival experience, Sahkeenah mentioned about Sharon shopping. That might have been your experience. But we're going to give you an opportunity to appear on Voices of Festival. If you've got something that you want to share, your experience there, your first time or a performance that you saw, you can go to vof@gmail.com. Voices of Festival @gmail.com. And give us a 1 to 2 minute. You can't do a speech, but give us about a 2-minute piece and we will share that as we move forward. Okay. So please, I think that's all we have, except the most important piece is yours, Sahkeenah, and that is to let folks know how they can continue to support us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that update, Baba Adeyemi. And please visit the website, iaafestival.org. Visit our social media links on Instagram and Facebook, IAA Festival. Please donate to us, Cash App, and on our website, iaafestival.org. You can see all of the different avenues and stay updated with us as to what is going on. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please share with us your favorite pastimes of your experiences with festival. This is our 55th year, and we are driving forward in our drive for 55. So thank you again.
All right. So, folks, until next time, Voices of Festival will be back. Please, we love you. Be safe. And next time. Peace.
Peace out. Peace.